Hey guys, I mentioned in another video that I'd do a bit more of an in-depth look at the fermenter slash keg washer. Basically, what we've got here is just a square square bucket. Pretty much everything that is here can be bought from Bunnings. I think they sell a pump similar. I think I bought that online on eBay a few years ago. But basically everything else can be bought from Bunnings or the local hardware store. We've got 25mm PVC pipe. That's a 25mm T-piece PVC. It comes down to an irrigation fitting, which screws into the PVC T-piece there. I've got a little bit of hose with a couple of pieces of copper pipe coming out the end there, and that's to accept the ball lock disconnects for your keg when you want to use it to clean out kegs. I've got an end cap there to suit the 25mm pipe. That's been drilled. I've just drilled fairly random holes, but obviously in a certain pattern that will allow it to pretty much hit every side at the same time. The pump is it's a 3,000 litre per hour, and it can pump up to 3 metres of head height, or three. It'll pump water up to 3 metres in height. So that's plenty enough pressure to do what I needed to do. So what I'll do is I'll put it all back together, sit it back in its bucket, and give you a look at that. Okay, so that's our unit all put together. It's all fairly straightforward. Everything's just hand tight. There's no glue involved. Everything just presses together. The wire bars you see, they're basically just something to allow you to either stand your keg upside down on, or your fermenter, depending on what you're doing. Little cable ties there. What they do is they catch the water that runs down the bars, and rather than run over the edge and flood whatever you've got it set up on, it redirects those droplets that would otherwise end up outside, drops them straight back into the bucket. Keeps it all fairly well contained. You can clean out a fermenter without attaching other hoses like you would for your ball lock disconnects. They have a tendency just to run within the bucket and don't get any overflow there, so that works out quite well. What I need to do is mix up some cleaning solution and clean out the fermenter, or the Fermzilla all-rounder, the 30 litre. I've finished with that today, so it needs to be cleaned. So I'll mix up some stuff and we'll get onto that. Oh yeah, that's our unit all put back together. What I've gone ahead and done is I've basically submerged the pump, or virtually submerged the pump, enough to cover the inlet of it, and I've mixed up with some warm water. All I use is this black and gold laundry sanitizer. As you can see, it's the active ingredient is sodium bicarbonate, which is precisely what most of your PBW, your brewery washers, and any of the so-called home brew products that are available. This stuff's a fraction of the price and does exactly the same job. I've been using it for about 10 years now, and I've never had a problem. So that's our water in there. What I might do is just top that up just a little more, and then we'll bring in the all-rounder and we'll fire it up. Alright, so we've topped up our water level just a little. There's our 30 litre Fermzilla, sitting upside down, sitting on our bars, ready to fire it up. As you can see, the square bucket seems to, for the most part, keep it fairly well contained in there. With those holes in the end cap, that really tends to pretty much allow the sodium percarbonate to hit every surface. The only thing you do need to watch is that this stuff does flame up after a little while. So I usually give it about 5 minutes run, and I'll come in and I'll turn it off. Just let the bubbles settle, and then come back and give it another run. But that's how she runs, that's how she works. As you can see, we're covering every surface in there. If you're concerned, you can always rotate it between cycles. Just rotate it a little bit. As you can see, the handles are fairly square on. You can rotate it either way, either side, if you're concerned that you're not hitting each part. But we're getting pretty good coverage all around there. So I usually give it about 10 minutes with the warm sodium percarbonate. It's been rinsed out. I finished the brew today. It's been kegged, obviously, so I rinsed it out with warm water just to get rid of any of the krausen ring that was left. And they're really easy to clean, these Fermzillas. So pretty much from this point on, it's set and forget. So there's our fermenter washer doing the 60 litre all-rounder. This is its first proper wash since I unboxed it the other day. Hasn't been hit with the sodium percarbonate, so I figured while we're here. One thing I did notice was due to the height, I didn't have enough pressure to actually reach the top, which I do now. I achieved that by putting a bit of nylon tubing in a loop between the two ports that you'd normally have for your ball-off disconnect to your keg. I simply loop that, which basically takes that out of the equation and gives us a lot more volume up the centre there. So there's a lot more pressure coming out of our end cap. And that's going right up the top. That's as you can hopefully see, that's hitting all the surfaces in there. And once again, you can turn that and twist that around a bit to ensure that you're hitting all the surfaces. But overall, that's a look at the DIY fermenter cleaner. It's a lot easier than buggering around on your knees next to the bathtub or the kitchen sink or the laundry sink. So anyway, any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.